Welcome everybody to this week's installment of Cooking with doTERRA. So here we're going to make a gluten-free chicken dumpling stew, and this is part of my program for healing your gut. Hippocrates said all diseases stem, or 80% of diseases stem from the gut, and that's because 80% of our immune system is located in our gut, and when that lining becomes compromised, toxins and undigested food and things get in through the wall into our bloodstream. And I went through a whole big thing with eczema, and I'm still going through it right now, but I find that healing from within has been the answer for me. And so here's a recipe that you can try. So what I've done so far is I roasted some celery, carrots, and onion in the oven first, and then I roasted some chicken thighs, and then I put the chicken thighs in a pot with water covering them and boiled them for, I don't know, a few hours, really doesn't matter. I simmered them for a while. Then I added the vegetables, and so the chicken just gets torn. Once it's cooled down, you can just tear it, put it in there, and save the bones for later, because I'll show you what to do with that to make a nice bone broth, which is full of collagen, minerals, and things like that to help heal your gut. And if you have any rheumatoid arthritis, rashes, psoriasis, eczema, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, things like that, it all stems from you need to heal your gut. And one of the things is bone broth. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. So right now here we have the chicken in there, we have the celery, onions, and carrots, and we're just letting it go. I'm going to add some cilantro leaves. It's sort of just whatever you have in your kitchen. I have some pink Himalayan salt. I was working with chickens, so I like to use gloves, and I don't really like to get my hands dirty because I'm still going also through some eczema that I'm on my hands is the last spot that I'm working on. And your skin is actually like a mirror of what's going on in your liver and in your gut. And so as my skin is healing, I can see, as my liver and my gut is healing, my skin has healed. I had been on a cycle of antibiotics and all sorts of things, and no cream, no antibiotic, nothing. That doesn't work. You gotta heal from within, just like shamanic medicine says. So let's stir this up, and we'll add a little bit of the doTERRA oregano. I'll add a couple of drops of that. And I don't have any left, but if I had some basil essential oil, I would add that too. And you can add the fresh stuff, like if you have fresh basil, fresh parsley, fresh bay leaves, fresh cilantro, anything like that can go in here to make a nice broth. Okay, so we'll let that simmer for a while, and then we're going to get ready for the second step, which will be making the dumplings, the gluten-free dumplings. Okay, so with the magic of technology, I'll be able to do that. Okay, now for the gluten-free dumpling part. Why gluten-free? Well, gluten is a sticky protein, and when you have a leaky gut, when your intestinal tract walls have holes in it, it lets through some of the gluten protein into your bloodstream, and then what happens is that creates an autoimmune response. Your body wants to get rid of that toxin, so that causes inflammation, and inflammation is where you get eczema, psoriasis, arthritis, and a host of other things. So the whole point of this recipe is to start healing the gut. So one of the things we have to avoid is gluten. So what I have here is 2 1/4 cups of gluten-free flour. Now, I don't know if the dumplings will work with almond flour, tapioca flour, anything like that. I haven't tried it, so just stick with that. Now, this one already has xanthan gum in it. If you look at the ingredients at your gluten-free flour, if it has xanthan gum, you're good to go. If it doesn't, then you're going to have to buy some xanthan gum powder and use a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And I think that that kind of replaces the gluten, because gluten is what kind of binds the dough together. So I'm pretty sure that's what the xanthan gum is for. It's a natural product from trees, and so it's not going to hurt you. So that is 2 1/4 cups of the gluten-free flour. Then we've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder mixed in there. 2 teaspoons of baking powder mixed into the flour. We'll put a few of this Himalayan pink rock salt. We'll put a couple turns in there. And if you have parsley, dried parsley, that's good. I don't have dried parsley, but I have cilantro leaves, which is good. And it is also good for cleansing the liver as well. So there, we'll get some of that and mix that in. Maybe a little more cilantro stuff. Why not? Okay, and then we'll make a hole in the middle, like a little well. And here we have 2 eggs that are beaten. And then here. So remember when I said save the bones? Because then what you do is you put them in your slow cooker with some water and some onions, celery, carrot. You don't even have to cut it. Just put it all in there, garlic. In your slow cooker for like, I put mine on low for 2 days. Honestly, I put it for like 48 hours and it turned into this beautiful chicken broth. And I skimmed off the fat off the top once it was in the fridge. And this is full of minerals leached from the bones. And I use a little bit of, like a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in the mix as well while it's cooking. And that helps to bring out more of the calcium, minerals, and out of the marrow, and the collagen, which is most important for gut regeneration, for like rebuilding the walls and covering up the holes in your gut lining. So we use a cup of this beautiful broth. It tastes amazing. I just warm it up and drink a cup of it every day. I just love it. And I add a little bit of salt and some seasoning to it, like some leaves of whatever I have, like parsley leaves or whatever. Okay, so here's a cup, and we put it in the middle of the bowl, or the hole there that we made, and then we add our beaten eggs. And here we have our stew that's boiling. Oops. Okay, you know, I can never make videos without something spilling. But, you know, that's the fun of being in the kitchen. Okay, so let's stir this up. And it's going to be thick and goopy once it's all stirred up. So let's watch here. Stirring, stirring, stirring. Another couple of things to avoid while you're trying to repair your gut is non-organic dairy. I just choose to avoid all dairy as much as possible. And sugar is the #1 thing. Avoid sugar. Take out all sugar out of your diet, because sugar is feeding your candida and your fungus and your mold, and it's feeding any cancer cells that are growing. It causes inflammation in your body. It makes everything terrible. You don't need sugar. Sugar is the devil. So it's like, if you're going to eat sugar, eat a fruit, and a whole fruit, like a whole apple. And if you're trying to heal your gut like I am for the first month or 2, just stay away from most fruits except for like blueberries and high fiber, like raspberries have high fiber, and a banana once in a while. You can learn more about healing your gut online. That's what I did. I learned everything online because doctors just keep prescribing antibiotics, which wrecks your gut more, and they prescribe ointments, cortisone, which your body doesn't even care about it. Like, it becomes too used to it after a few days, and then it doesn't even work. So creams and potions, external ways to fix your problems don't work. You have to start from the inside out. And it's really been working for me, and I want to share that with you. So here's our mess, our goopy mess here. Beautiful gluten-free dumplings. So now I have it at it's kind of boiling, so it's probably at like a medium level. And then I'm just going to drop this by the spoonfuls into, here, I'll bring this over here so you can watch. So I take a nice spoonful, put it in there, take another spoonful, put it in there. How about another spoonful? Healing my gut is fun and tasty. Okay, so here we go. We're almost done spooning the beautiful dumplings into our broth. Now, why did I roast the vegetables and the chicken before I boiled it all together? Because roasting brings out that nice golden flavor. And flavor is, you know, the key to wonderful cooking, right? So you get the most flavor as possible. One thing I just remembered that I forgot was garlic. So you know what I'm going to do? I have a little jar of garlic here. I have to open it. Little jar of garlic. Open it up. Put in a nice spoonful, kind of sprinkle it around. Okay, and then we put on the top. And then we press timer for, let's say, 15 minutes and let that just bake like that. Okay, so once this is done, I'll show you the end result, and then we'll dig in. Okay, so it is all ready, and it looks amazing. Let me show you how the dumplings got beautiful and fluffy on the top of the broth. So I got my special bowl, and I'm going to spoon some of the chicken stew on the bottom first, like so, and then put the beautiful dumplings on top. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And then you can even add a little bit more parsley or cilantro, whatever you have. Dried herbs, I'll call it, right on top like that. And there we go. Healing your gut is delicious. When you take the time to cook the food, get back to nature, get back in the kitchen. It tastes good. Nice, rich. The dumplings are fluffy. Good stuff. Thank you for joining me on this adventure with doTERRA, cooking with doTERRA essential oils. And I hope to see you next time.